So I wanted to take this brief opportunity to give you some sort of managerial updates leading up to the second exam, which is on the 18th. I've made two changes, and I've potentially going to be making a third change as compared to your first exam experience. Let me talk about the two changes first, then I'll talk about the potential third change, talk about the material that will be covered, and then just talk about how I made the exam. This exam is going to consist of 40 questions that are purely multiple choice. So what I've done here is I've eliminated the short answer portion, which was just problematic because some of you had access to those questions, some of you didn't, some of you could type in responses, some of you couldn't. Also, I think there's something to be said for the fact that everyone types at a different speed. Things that I didn't take into account that I think just make it easier for me to try to devise better multiple choice questions that kind of get at this, your understanding of the material. So there will be more questions, 40 multiple choice questions. That means that each will be equally weighted at 2.5% each. This exam, I will be giving you now 2 hours to complete the exam as compared to the 90 minutes that you had on the first exam. So you'll have a little bit more time, just a few more questions. I'm hoping that, though, I've more than compensated for the time, so you have enough time to complete everything. And then the third potential change that I think I'm going to have to make is that, as you can see in the study guide here, that you'll be getting as an attachment to the email that has the link to this video. Right now it says that that you'll have access to the exam on the 18th, which is Friday, from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. But then just as I was logging into my Econ Lab, it's saying that the system is going to be down right on the tail end of that available time that you were going to have. So rather than shortening the time that you have, I don't think anyone is hurt by me making it a little bit longer. So I think the change I'm going to make is that you'll have it available from 8 a.m. on Friday to probably noon on Saturday. So the only thing I kind of have a little bit of a fear with is, while I'll be available all day on Friday to kind of deal with technical problems and whatnot, I won't have that same ability on Saturday to immediately handle things. So I would strongly encourage people, if you can, to take the exam on Friday. But I know some of you work late, some of you work long hours. That might be the reason why you're taking an online exam. I think the burden is on me to make things as flexible as I can while not making it unfair to anyone else. And I think that by making it available till noon on Saturday isn't unfair to anyone, and if anything is a bit more fair. If you have to take the exam on Saturday, then so be it. We'll just kind of try to work through any technical problems if they happen. Okay, so that'll be the way that the course itself, the exam itself, is run. Then in terms of the topics, there's not that many. This is a very short study guide. It was a very easy exam for me to make because chapters 8 and 9 are the focus of this exam. Chapters 8 and 9, which cover all but the last 4 bullet points, represents more than 50% of the questions. So focus your attention on your notes on chapters 8 and 9. Measuring GDP, measuring inflation, measuring unemployment. How those numbers get things wrong, how to classify things properly, why it matters what economic condition exists. Then chapters 10 and 11 just really cover savings, investments, and how economic growth occurs. These are not, even though this is half of the chapters, it is not half of the questions that I'm going to ask you. It is less than half. So focus your time appropriately. What I would do with this study guide is I made it after I made the exam, so organize your notes around these bullet points, because that's how you'll access things the fastest and beat the time crunch that inevitably will occur. Okay, so then when I log into my Econ Lab, you will see that for us, you'll access it in the exact same way. That what you'll do is you'll go to assignments and you'll do take a quiz test. And it's not going to appear yet. I've set it so that it'll appear on Thursday, so at least you could log in and see that it's there. But it'll basically appear here. It'll say that it's going to be due, again, I'm thinking at this point it's going to be due on Saturday at noon. Exam 2, 120 minutes, completed on the 18th at, it has to be completed between the 18th at 8 a.m. and the 19th at noon, 120 minutes. You'll get one attempt, and for each question you're doing, you will only have one attempt as well. Okay, so that should do it for kind of the administrative matters related to this. There is a study and review session tomorrow from 6 to 7 p.m. I will stay there though until the last person leaves, so it may go longer than 7 p.m. It may not. But I'll talk about that review session in the email that will accompany this video. Okay, so I hope that helps everyone kind of gauge how to prepare for this exam, and let me know if you have any questions.